amazing hero, eco-warrior, world record holder do we have sitting next to you, Daniel and Connor?
Lisa Blair.
Woo! Oh my goodness. How many days did it take her to circumnavigate Antarctica?
92? Yeah, 92 days.
Anyone know the exact time?
Oh.
I'm not sure. We got out on the boat around 6:30.
Yeah, super
Oh,
early
okay.
And then I'm not sure how long I waited there. I was too busy vomiting.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. Daniel,
like
can you
7
move
or-
closer to Lisa?
I think it was around 7. I think
7?
Around 7. So
Yeah, we were very excited to watch you go across the finish line. That was super exciting.
Yeah, I could hardly see through the gaps of me not being sick.
Between the bucket and the...
Yeah.
Good thing Connor didn't go for the world record. The world spew record.
Yeah.
Okay, so Connor, do you have a question you want to ask Lisa?
Yeah. How did you handle the biggest wave the biggest storm that you encountered?
Right, so the biggest storm that I encountered generated waves that were the size of a 5-story building.
Whoa.
And so if you imagine looking up at my mast, you see that second horizontal black spreader?
Yeah.
They were about that high.
Whoa.
So that's like a liquid mountain that just kind of comes up. So you have to make sure in those conditions that you minimize your time on deck, because if you get hit by one of those really big waves and I'm out here, I'll get washed off the boat.
Yeah.
Whereas if I'm inside the boat, I'm pretty safe. So basically I have to trust the boat to be strong enough to get me through, and hibernate and hide inside.
You gotta stay and just pray nothing goes wrong, like a broken mast happened last time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, and Connor, one thing that people probably don't think about that Lisa did for months and years even was getting this boat ready to be strong enough, right?
So we did a 6-month refit on the boat where we went over, we literally stripped it back to just the hull and deck. The mast was off, the rudder was out, the steering pedestals were off, all of this was off. No hatches, nothing in there.
Just the hull?
Just the hull, and we went back and rebolted everything back on, checked the interior core of the boat for strength, made sure there was no weaknesses. And because of that preparation, it meant that I could trust that the boat was going to get me through those storms. Whereas if I hadn't have done the prep, I probably would have been a bit scared.
Yeah.
Last time the mast broke.
Yeah, last time it wasn't a very nice ending. So
No.
I spent a lot of time this time making sure it was even stronger than last time.
And everyone who hasn't read Lisa's book, Facing Fear, should definitely read all about it and go on her website and read her daily blogs from that voyage and this voyage. It's very cool.
Yeah.
All right, Daniel, what question do you want to ask Lisa?
On a scale of 1 to 10, like how scary was the scariest part of it?
About 100. There was this one moment in one of those big storms, and one of those big waves hit the side of the boat, and the boat weighs 10 tons. So if you imagine like 10 elephants, it weighs that much, right? So the boat got hit on the side and it got picked up, airborne, flipped over on its head, and I was inside the boat having to wedge myself in. But it's that scary moment where you're not sure if something's like the mast is going to snap, or you're going to have major breakages.
I would have popped in the hammock down there, wrapped myself up like a cocoon.
That's exactly where I was.
And
exactly
plus,
where I
weren't
was.
you wearing special clothes with armor in it?
Yes, I had body armor in my base layers because you can just get tossed or wiped out by one of the waves on deck. So I always have like knee pads, hips, my ribs are protected so I don't break a rib, my elbows, because then if you have a fall, you're going to have less likely chance of having a major injury. And given that I'm solo and I'm the only one out there, I wanted to make sure that I could still sail the boat the whole time, that I didn't get an injury.
Because not only were you alone on your boat, but how many other boats did you see in the entire 92 days?
2. One off Cape Horn, which was a small cruise ship, which is near Antarctica there, and one just passing the Kerguelen Islands about 10 days from port. So yeah, 2 ships in the whole record.
The other thing that kids might be interested in is you've been to that Point Nemo, where
Yeah.
you're the farthest
Do you
away.
know what Point Nemo is?
Yes.
Yeah, you want to tell
I
us?
have no idea. It's where you're the furthest away from any human civilization, and if the International Space Station is above you, they're closer to you than anyone else.
That's
People
exactly
there.
right. So it's the most remote location of our ocean from land anywhere in the world. It's called the Pole of Inaccessibility, and at any one time I was over 1,500 nautical miles from land, and the International Space Station rotates at around 400 kilometers above us. So I was far closer to the astronauts than I was to any person on any piece of land anywhere in the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
So guys, what do you think about what Lisa did?
I think that was pretty crazy, and I would not attempt to do that in a long, long time. Especially that my number one priority would be going on the side and just vomiting.
Yeah, you get seasick.
What about you, Dad?
I just think I wouldn't do that ever. It's just like, I would probably die if I did it.
Zero experience, I bet.
Yeah.
Well, you can go and learn how to sail and become strong enough to do it. Anyone
Yeah.
can do it.
But
Yeah.
do you feel inspired by what Lisa's done to do your own climate actions?
Yes, definitely.
And I want to ask you guys, what is an action that you do for our environment? You know, the Post-it note campaign that I do on the side of the boat?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what's your actions?
We've done the contest.
Yes,
yeah,
that's
both
your
of
mum though.
them.
What do you
Okay.
do?
We have
gone
performed
to
on
pro-
stage.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, because you've got the world and the dinosaur
Yeah.
costumes. Yeah, mum roped you into that one. Perfect.
Yep.
Yes, that was a very
Do you
treacherous.
Pick up
sail.
rubbish if you see it on the ground.
Definitely.
Do you try and avoid plastic in your lunch boxes?
Yeah.
Do you ride your bicycle instead of like driving in a car?
Yeah,
Yes.
you guys walk to
Yeah.
Do
school.
heaps of actions.
And
do you turn
what
the
are-
lights off when you leave the room?
Yes.
Yeah.
Try and have short showers so that you don't
Yep.
waste water.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually have electric water. Everything in our house is electric except the stove. And we're gonna have an electric stove that we're gonna install instead.
Yeah.
So no gas bill
And then
needed.
Because we have wood on the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have solar panels as well.
Yep,
Ah.
and we've got something on order that arrives in July that you guys have been begging me for
yeah,
years.
car.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool.
No, I mean, Lisa, you're just so inspirational, and I think nobody's gonna watch this and think, oh, I'm gonna do exactly what Lisa did, but they're gonna think, well, if she can do that, I've got to do something. And if everyone does something, it makes a big difference.
And that's the thing, everyone can make an impact.
Yeah.
It's just these little things like picking up rubbish when you see it on the street or in the playground, they make a big difference.
Yeah.
And you definitely don't have to sail solo around Antarctica, but by me doing this, it shows you can choose a goal, any goal, and make it happen.
Yeah.
And that's what's important.
Also, what's that for?